what the Merino is capable of doing. The backbone of a lot of the genetics in Australia. But what's really interesting is how they're competing, you know, gross margin wise, how they're competing with a lot of other enterprises, be it straight meat or cattle. Or the wool market has been quite suppressed for a long time, and it put a lot of people off. But those that stuck with it and wanted to take them in that more modern direction are now seeing the benefits of that. Dom Hallam from Cooee Merinos on the southern tablelands, New South Wales, a little town called Gunning. But this has always been wool country, so you know, we've always been quite passionate about wool. We're always chasing nice, good staple lengths, bowl crimping wools, well aligned, nice skins. More recent years with the price of carcasses, we've had a bit more focus on the carcass side of things with fat and muscle, fertility, survival, just tough sheep. This gets pretty harsh around here. You know, we get -10s and up into the early 40s in the summer. It's definitely four-season country. Finding those sort of tough animals that can handle all that. Early on in the days, we were chasing those animals that were plainer bodied with the fertility with them, and that comes hand in hand, and just still had those nice bowl crimping, long staple wool. So we chased a few of those genetics until we got to a point years ago where we struggled to find them. We started breeding along our own lines at that point. We're focusing on data, but still very focused on the phenotypes. They had to be good walkers, get up through the hills, travel, good feet. We're always looking for those sheep with good shape. We're moving into animals that can have a little bit more fertility in carcass without losing that focus on our wools. We're seeing it happen, and that's really promising for us. This is the first year we put lambs through Gundagai meats. They're at 7 months, they were 28 kilos dressed, and they were going +5s up into the 6s GLQ. We found that they had this really nice marbling in them. That was dollars for us. Something we've never focused on in the past, but now we're like, well, this is interesting, and what's going on with these sheep? Just balancing that with our wools makes it very profitable. Our rams are just showing this depth in them, and they're very fertile. That's a big profit driver now with this sheep market, and the wools are still maintained, and it is very hard for some people to get their head around these big bowl crimping wools, well-aligned staples, to understand that they're still around 16, 17 micron. And that's just an education thing, and some of our clients have come to us and taken that risk and purchased those rams and come back and said, well, that worked. And so then they got a few more. And they got a little bit gamer and were a little bit more extreme on what some of the sheep we're breeding. And then they're turning around and saying, well, gee, they're tough, and they just seem to eat and graze, and they're not too hard to look after, and we like them, and they keep coming back. I'm sort of leaning more towards dividing rams up into what indexes that they're interested in. Dom, you know, have you got some really nice long stapling, bowl crimping wool sheep? Yep, that's them over there. And then someone else comes along and says, look, I'm chasing a bit more fat and muscle, a bit of carcass. And I go, yep, that's them over there. So then I can just put them in the grades, and they can just know that when they come here with confidence that they can go, okay, I'll take half a dozen of those, and I'm going to work with those, and half a dozen of those, work with those. First thing you ask is, well, what do you want to do with the sheep? And then I can say, well, that's going to do that, and that's going to do that. If anyone wants to have a look at sheep, we're always open for them to come and have a look first.